A friend of mine asked me a question someday, so I feel like to come share it with you guys here on the Blue app. So what was the question? He asked me, Miracle, at what age do you think someone is expected to leave the parents' house to go and stay alone? Like he said, what he meant was, at what stage do you think one as a girl or as a guy should leave the parents to go and be on his own? So guess what I answered him? One thing you should understand in this life is this: maturity is not by age. Age is just a number. Of course, one can be 30 years old and still be behaving like an 18 years old person, whereas one can be 18 years or 20 years old and be behaving like someone who is up to 40 years. Of course, that is just the pure fact. So to me, I don't think that there is this age that one is expected to reach before the person can leave the parents' house to go and be on his own, on her own. I feel that it is something that has to do with maturity of the mind, maturity of the psychology. Is not about physical maturity. I'm talking about being matured psychologically, mentally, socially, not physically. Because one can be matured physically, but upstairs the person has nothing up there. So I feel like it is not about age. Yes, notwithstanding the fact that once one is 18 years, the person is supposed or is expected to make decisions for himself or herself. But you should equally factor in if actually you're matured enough. Because before you should be able to leave your parents' house to go and be your own, you should be ready to do what? To take up responsibilities. Yes, you should be able to take up responsibilities. You can't be on your own claiming you're independent, whereas you're calling home to feed you, or maybe you're depending on the house to feed you. No, it is not done like that. And let me remind you, it is not a bad thing to stay with your parents. Yes, get me very well. It is not a bad thing to live with your parents. When it becomes a bad thing staying with them is when you overstay your stay there. Yes, when you overstay your stay in your family house, that is when it becomes a bad thing. When you know that at the age of 25, you're supposed to start hustling, you're supposed to start fending for yourself. At least at the age of 25, 26, 27, you're supposed to be on your own. Like you're supposed to be living where you're paying rent, catering for yourself, like feeding your, like at least those basic needs, you're supposed to be providing it for yourself. But you still choose to be with your parents. That's when it is a bad thing. So living with your parents, it's not bad. It is only bad when you overstay your stay there. So I feel like the time you're supposed to leave your parents is when you're psychologically matured, not physically matured. So if you have a contrary opinion towards this, you can equally drop it there in the comment section. Let's interact.